Hello, this is Gregory. You're live on the air.
How are you?
Hi.
You coached me about getting a decision about divorce.
What are you thinking? What is your situation? Tell me about it.
We are 10 years that we are married, 7-year-old.
You have a 7-year-old and you've been married for 10 years, yes?
Yeah, I
And
love
now you're
him.
contemplating divorce.
I love him, but he has problems just because he has depression and he gets medication for heart diseases. He can't do sex. He doesn't have attraction to
I got it. Do you have a son or a daughter?
son.
And how's his relationship with his father?
He's a good father.
Yeah, so here's a man that's a good father. You said he's depressed
Yeah.
and he has to take medication.
Yes.
And so that affects him sexually so that he's not motivated to have sex. And you think you should divorce him?
I love him. You think it is healthy for me if I stay in this relationship, although there's not any sexual relationship or any emotional relationship?
I understand that you can have a problem with this, but when you marry someone and you have a child, and the child has a relationship with, in your own words, a good father, your life, ma'am, is not about you anymore. Your life is about that child growing up with a father he loves, who's a good father. As a wife, your concern ought to be about how can I help this man, but instead your concern is about how can you help yourself and abandon this man. This
Yes.
man needs some love and compassion and some help, obviously. If he's depressed about something, he needs to get some help, and I don't think that it's medical help. Personally, I'm always against taking medicine unless you're about to die and it's going to keep you alive. But if you don't feel good, then deal with what, especially if it's a psychological issue, then there's something that's at the source of that. And if you were able to diffuse that or be with that in a way that it would empower you, then you wouldn't be depressed anymore. You would just be a powerful person that had a bad experience. But very often people have bad experiences. Maybe they had a whole bunch of bad experiences, one right after the other, and they got traumatized and had horrible things happen to them. And so it's kind of a natural reaction to feel depressed about that, right?
Yes.
You know, we go to a doctor, say, help me, and the doctor says, here, just take these pills and you're going to feel better. But you haven't handled what hurt you in the first place. You see what I'm saying? It's like there's a fire going on in your house and there's smoke detectors going off, and the fire department comes out and turns off the smoke detectors and goes, there you go, all better now, right? And leaves the house to burn down, because it will. Medicine is nothing more than a temporary fix for something that, you can't handle. You're not supposed to take medicine for your whole life. I'm not saying if he has a heart condition, he shouldn't take heart medicine. I mean...
No, he's taking right now. The side effects, those medications.
I'm not a doctor and I'm not giving you medical advice. I am telling you, however, that if you have a mental or psychological experience that we call depression, and who calls it depression? I'm going to tell you who calls it depression. Medical doctors, so they can sell medicine. Okay, if you ask me, I'd say, okay, let's handle some unfinished business in your past and get it complete so that you can move on. Listen, I've had virtually every symptom that you can read about that they call depression. I've personally had it, and I'm sure you have too. You don't go through life without having some bad experiences and having a negative reaction to it, which is normal. It's normal to have a negative reaction to bad experiences. What's not normal is to let those experiences stop you in your tracks so that you can't move forward. I'll say it's common, but I don't think it's normal. I wouldn't call it handling life in a healthy way. If you twist your ankle, it hurts to walk on it, right? And that's a bad experience. And it hurts for a long time sometimes, right? So I'm not suggesting that you just keep on walking, but on the other hand, it would be even more absurd to walk on crutches for the rest of your life until your legs were so weak that you couldn't walk on them if you had to. You see what I'm saying? What's normal is to heal the sprained ankle, to deal with the whatever happened so that, the negative experience that happened that caused you to get an injury in the first place, and then keep walking. But that's all normal. That's handling life in a normal, healthy fashion and getting stronger from your injuries instead of weaker.
It means, is it healthy for me to be in a relationship that there's no any...
What's healthy is to get your attention off of yourself and onto the people who you said you would love for better or worse. Did you get married?
Yes.
What kind of ceremony did you have? Because most ceremonies include the words that you will love this person and cherish them and honor them and take care of them in the good times and the bad times. Did your marriage ceremony say that?
Yeah.
Yeah, mine did. That means you're either going to honor that or you're going to throw those words away and go try to find somebody else that has less problems and leave your poor husband and your son to figure out their life, because your life's more important. Take a seminar, get psychological help, do a workshop, insist that your husband go with you. In other words, do something. Here's the description of depression, and I'm going to give you the description of what makes life happy and successful. And I gave you a hint of it in the very beginning of the show. I said you have a feeling, then you have a thought, then you take actions. The actions are the connection between the inside world. Feelings and thoughts are inside. You can't see them. They're the inner world. Words and actions are where you take those thoughts and feelings and you express them out in the world. Some of the things you do that don't have words, and some things have words and not actions, but speaking is an action. You can say and do things in your own life that come from your heart, that come from who you are, that make a difference in another person's life. And I'm sure that that's true for your husband and especially for your son. What you say and what you do is very important to them. And so I'm not suggesting you sit around and get depressed too and lament the fact that you don't have a fulfilling sex life. And I'm not saying that you should not have sex anymore either, but you've got to figure a way to work that out. But how that's going to get resolved is through communication. Heartfelt, authentic communication. My love, I love you so much. It would feel so much better. I would be so much happier as a woman if we could, whatever, right? But by communicating and by giving something of yourself as well. It means digging down inside yourself. And listen, the challenges in life, that's what they're about. They're so that you look inside yourself and pull out what's already there and share it, so that your world becomes better, other people's worlds become better. That's what the word educate means, to pull out knowledge from within. That's what the word education means, educate. So educate yourself and educate your husband and your son and show them how a great, awesome, honorable, wonderful woman takes care of a bad situation. Otherwise, you're going to teach them how a coward runs away when things get bad. And that's what they'll be left with. And they'll be right.
The medication that he gets, the side effect is that the sexual drive is very less.
Impotence. I understand. That's why you should stop taking it.
Yeah, he told me today that you're so young. I suggest that leave me and go and get married again. He told
That's
me.
the depression talking. The normal action for making life move forward is feel, think, act. Feel, think, act. Feel, think, act. That's what makes the wheel go around, okay? That's what makes life move forward. I feel, I think, I act. I feel, I think, I act. Here's depression. Feel, think, feel, think, feel, think, feel, think, feel, think. Do that longer. If I did that for another 30 seconds, you would all go to sleep. And your eyes would start to get heavy. Your heart would get heavy. You would wonder, when can I end this?
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's what depression is. Depression is like, how do I get out of this? All I could do is feel and think. I'm going to tell you how you get out of it. Go do something. Action. Feel, think, act. Remember, feel, think, act. Even if the action doesn't work, just keep acting, keep doing until something hooks, and then you begin to pull yourself up out of the hole. What are you going to do about it? Because I'm going to relate to you as being the more skilled at relationship one. Your husband's depressed. Maybe he's depressed from being around you. Are you a real joy to be around? Help him get back to those places where he needs to be, okay?
So what can I do with when I need, for example?
I understand your question.
What can I do that?
There's lots of. I mean, you don't need me to tell you on national television how to do that. Take care of yourself sexually. Sometimes you might need to take care of yourself sexually. Sometimes you need to take care of somebody else sexually. But in this situation, until you can help him feel like it, I trust that as a woman, you have lots of tools at your disposal for helping a man get interested in sex. Did this help you?
Yeah. It helps me a lot. Thank you.
Let me know how it turns out. Thank you for calling. Thanks for your trust.
Bye.
Good day.